Hey winners, welcome back to the Focus on Winning podcast. My name is Ashraf. Today I want to share with you a quick tips about how to grow a podcast. So recently I just watched a video from John Lee Dumas on how to grow a podcast. And this is the presentation that he gave at the PodFest presentation 2019 in Orlando, I believe. Yeah, it was in Orlando. He spoke about how to everything podcast, basically a beginner level, actually, considering how basic the info was, but one of the key points takeaway that I've got was how to grow a podcast. And there was this one quote that really amazed me, that really got me blown away by how amazing that quote is, and I'm gonna share it to you right here. Okay, so I'm sure you know how to grow a podcast, and basically just share it on social media, get on other podcasts to be interviewed, or tell your friends and families about your podcast. And so basically just sharing your podcast out there to get more exposure, right? So he shared all that stuff, and it was really amazing. Some of the strategies are really well executed. I really like that. And then the last point that he made at the presentation, he talked about this one particular thing that every podcaster should have been focusing on. Alright, so I'm going to quote him, okay? Do not focus on getting bigger, but focus on getting better. And I was like, oh my god, that was really awesome, because all this time I was also focusing on getting bigger, because I want to get more listeners, I want to get more reviews, I want to get more subscribers and all this more of this stuff, right? But I forgot that I should have been focusing on how to get better at podcasting, like how to tell a better story, how to interview people, how to ask a better question, and how to basically all this how to stuff, right? So the next time I do a podcast, I want to be a better storyteller, I want to be a better interviewer, and maybe a better connector, like all this stuff. If you look back at my previous episodes, I've already improved that much. My English has improved, my tonality also has improved, and a lot of things have getting better, but I used to focus on getting bigger, right? And after I watched that presentation, I kind of felt guilty. not really guilty, but I kind of felt like, oh wow, that really hits right in my face because I was so busy on promoting my shows out there, not really focusing on getting better at things. So that was really amazing. That was kind of blown my mind, actually. So if you are struggling in growing a podcast and you have done pretty much everything, like promoting your podcast in social media, or maybe emailing your list, or maybe telling your friends and families, or maybe you even do paid ads to promote your show, right? Maybe you have done pretty much everything and you still are not growing. So maybe it is time for you to get better, right? Because if everyone listens to your podcast and they don't like the way you talk, they don't like the way you tell stories, and maybe you should review yourself after this, because it doesn't matter how big you are. Actually, people listen to you because how better you are in crafting your message. Or maybe you listen to some podcasts because of how good their storytelling is, or maybe how good their joke is, right? So maybe there's a reason why you listen to someone's podcast. So anyway, my focus right now is getting better. Maybe getting better at storytelling after this, and maybe also getting better at interviewing people. So hopefully you grow your show after this by getting better at your craft in podcasting. Maybe you have to get better at storytelling, or maybe tonality, your tone, or maybe even your sound production, right? Because you might not have a mic, or maybe a better mic to produce a good sound quality. So maybe that's the case. So yeah, you have to review yourself which things you have to improve, which means that you have to listen to your previous episodes and maybe ask your fans and families or maybe your guests how their experience with your podcast, right? Just keep asking them and also listen to your previous episode. And yeah, I know maybe you hate your voice, right? And I used to hate my voice too, but after a while I get used to it. And also because I want to improve myself, that's why I have to listen to my previous episode. So if you're not comfortable with your voice, just ask your friends, okay, what needs to improve. And yeah, just ask, okay? And this also means that I want to ask you whether you like it or not about my podcast. If you like something, I want to hear that. What do you like about it? Or if you hate it, I want to know too. What do you hate about this show? So just share it in rates and reviews on iTunes, or you can even reach out to me on Facebook. I am most active on Facebook. Okay, so just reach out to me in any other social media if you want. If you don't have Facebook, okay, I want to know your opinions about this show and what things I need to change in this show. Maybe you don't like the way I say this thing, or maybe you don't like about this thing, right? So I want to know about your opinions because you are my listeners and I want to serve you in the best way possible, okay? So be better instead of getting bigger. Alright, that's my tip for you. And always remember that winners focus on winning. Until then, stay winning.